Nobody was willing to put a name to it. There were no vowels to hold us together, no way to sound it out, to string our pieces, but we made it work. You were always working to defy gravity. Your baggage resting on your shoulders like a chain of New England bricks when everyone else's body was made to be immune to its force. A noose sinking you whenever you try to come up for air, pulling your face down like you don't deserve to look like the rest of us. So much to pull you under the surface, so much for you to fight against alone. You, the one that sees the beauty and the tranquility of snow falling in the middle of an empty city because hospital monitors provide no secrecy or silence. Your moral compass pointed north, perched on a mountain where none of us, not even you, could reach it. A victim of circumstance, of always expecting to draw the short straw and often being right. You bent the truth until it broke, not because you meant to, but because you thought it was the only way to keep going. You have a flair for endings, resisting finalities, more than you ever asked for. Once upon a time, I revered your words like scripture, held on like anchors, drew a picture of a person who never promised you'd be. I shaved little bits and pieces of myself away so you could fit, and there you were perched above me, eyes filled with all the words you'll never speak that we said we wouldn't say. A wave in me for days after, like the remnants of a long day at the beach as you try to fall asleep, a symptom of shared atomic bombs that hit us in the dreams we still had and now. The taste of alcohol was rank on my morning breath, acid rising, better than remembering the taste of you, seeing you rise. Old faithful helping me forget, old fashions actually. The day after you tiptoed around my feelings, the perpetually pained man, afraid you hurt me, not realizing that you were already walking on shardy glass. Not willing to give you one more scar, one more birth, so I said, it's okay. I know I can't withstand this storm. I lied. A part of me so desperately wanted your rain and clouds and thunder. There's something so growing in you, metastasizing. It's been there as long as I've known you. Our first conversations tainted by a seeking through your pores. Materializing is just salty precipitate that you've long since tried to hide. This boy didn't know. Tentacular roots necrotizing, wrapping around your heart, your lungs, budding scar tissue when the doctors cut you open and took out dying hearts, blackened evidence of the disease you carried in your whole life. I was surprised. Surprised that this wasn't the pain you had chosen to share. Surprised that the damaged sheet then was more malignant than any potential cancer could have been. For a long time, I wish I knew how to be your son, help you grow, prune away the bad parts and start all over. But you weren't looking for my round of oxygen. So today, so close to how things were, a sharp pain nestles in between my lungs, threatening to take my breath away. And after all this time, I've learned to shut the valves, how to cut off your supply, wait for the day that I learn to breathe someone else in, for the day I say goodbye to all of your almost you never promised in the first place. Woo! The second one. He kisses me and at first I wonder why he doesn't smell of salt and cocoa butter. Why his lips don't feel like the water surface on a calm day. Why his tongue doesn't taste of beers or both burn and light, and he looks at me like maybe I can beat it. He tells me everything I've always wanted to hear, but in the back of my mind I still see you. A broken body on the OR table, a pleading hand like an IV, your hand pressing the button for more morphine each time the pain came back, sometimes just for the high. And you keep asking me if it's time to go home, if I could be your home. And the moment your words became more important to bodies under a microphone than those in your picture frames, I knew home wasn't where you wanted to be. That you just needed this foundation, this brick and mortar to keep you up until the stitches were ready to be removed. And I know it's time. I know you'll be everything I always said you would be. But while I laid myself into cement to keep you afloat, I willingly sank beneath. And that's okay. I never asked you to pull me out. I just hope that one day you see me there, nose and mouth, the only thing still acquainted with air, asking if maybe I needed you to be my home too. But instead you're telling me I'm polishing diamond. You're asking me how much more I could possibly want to shine, that if I breathe a little deeper, anxiety's caffeine-coated lips won't keep my eyes open because you know me when I'm mountain and avalanche. You can't see my valleys, you don't see her dam floods consume my lungs, her fog chokehold me with tiny hyperventilated breaths. You think I can stop it, but have you ever seen Twister? Don't you remember that when you hear the sirens, what they mean to say is that you are already too late? So when he reached in and pulled me from under that all-consuming sand, telling me I deserved more than to just breathe, telling me that oxygen was only really air when I was standing in it, I didn't recognize his face, or the name of his stars, or how I fit in with his constellations. All I know is that his words have been clear blue lullabies from the very beginning. And I put my hands up to shield myself from his sun because I'm so used to your thunderclouds. Try to listen when he says I don't have to worry about those bolts of lightning that I have like to, that I'm more than just frame and bone, and somehow, despite everything you've ever made me feel, I've started to believe him.